And we're back
Hello again.
for the review of the Magnificent with Snow Expansion.
Yes.
We just finished a full playthrough. You can check that out in the links down below. And we actually tied, and then we broke the tie by the highest numbered card here.
Yeah, it
Turn
is
order.
incredibly amusing to me that the expansion adds a rule for the tiebreaker. That's cute.
Yeah. All right. So, what do we think of the expansion for the Magnificent?
Well, there are two segments to the expansion.
Right.
One is this board,
Right.
which is not to be played with unless you really know the game, played it a lot, and want the added difficulty, because this adds an extra action that you might get or might not get. Sometimes you won't use it, sometimes it's irrelevant for you, and it's restricted. Like the resources are placed there in the beginning and never used again.
Yeah.
So in order to optimize it, you need to fully understand the game. Otherwise, it's just there and it's not really helping you that much. So I'm putting that aside. As far as the base snow, I really like it.
You mean this part?
This part, which includes the card, the new masters, the new assistant,
Trainers. Yeah.
the new assistant trainer tiles, everything. I think it really fits well within the base game.
Why?
Why? Well, you always have a snow card here. That is a big deal because you can take one, or in your case two, and you can make sure that you get them consistently. It removes a bit of the randomization you had here, because previously, depending on luck, you could get posters that are useless to you early on. Later on, you have most of the variations and it's fine. But early on, you could get unlucky, and snow fully mitigates that. It's also really interesting in the way it's built because it's a 5 and it's a really ugly shape. It's very difficult to fit. It causes issues for you. So, taking that early on is a disadvantage for bonuses and board completion, but it's a huge bonus for, getting your engine rolling.
Yeah.
I think that combining snow with a tent that gives you money lets you in the second and third turn get those higher pips because you have money and you're not afraid to spend those 12, 15 coins at the end of your round. So very nicely done, really like it. And everything that comes with the masters and the trainers just fits so well into the base game that it's barely noticeable. Sometimes you see a card that's a bit more interesting than the ones you remember and you're like, oh, that's probably from the expansion, but otherwise it fits seamlessly in.
Yeah. I'll start with the components actually. I think the components are pretty much the same. The new player color is gray, but there's a funny thing with the cards in which you feel
that one.
Yeah, it's really small, but they're different, and so you can see that they're cut a little bit differently. So that's it's a minor thing. The part that I sort of worry about is the fact that it's really hard to take the snow cards out of here.
Really hard is an understatement. They're the same as far as we can tell.
Yeah. So, I mean, not looking at the cut shape, but
I'm trying to take two, so I can just demonstrate that they are.
So theoretically, if you want to play the base game now.
Oh, it's very clear that they're cut differently this way.
Yeah.
When you place them one on top of the other, you can just see the edges.
Yeah.
But as far as art goes,
no, they didn't mark it for some reason. So
it's identical. The back is identical.
Yeah. So theoretically, what you could do is, if you look at a card and it mentions something from the expansion, you can just throw it out and replace it, right? But it's weird that they did that. Yeah, the color is a little bit different as well, but that's okay.
They probably swapped factories or something. But yeah.
So in any case, that's a little nitpicky point. It's not really bad. I think that the new round cards is nice because it probably makes the scaling a little bit more balanced, even in just
2 players.
2 players. And what else did I want to say? Yeah, and I like the additions of the new tents. These 2 tents are probably only ever used when you're playing with 4 or 5 players. Otherwise, you don't really. I don't think you'll get to them.
Yeah.
And the new performance, there are no. I think there are maybe new performances of the base type. I don't quite remember. And it also comes with a little explanatory card, which is also always nice.
Yeah.
Just looking at the player aid. And so yeah, so that's from components. From a mechanism standpoint, yeah, I do like the snow. I do like the added shape and the fact that it's always here. That's nice. And I do like the master board there. It sort of reminds me of Dungeon Pets expansion, where they did the same thing. That you added a board and you put a one of every kind of thing there, and you know that it's there. And for advanced players, it's kind of nice to know that there's, to a certain extent, you can plan a little bit better. And maybe the funnest part is that you play another turn in a round, so you get 3 more turns, which is nice because
But
then
they're
you
not
could
really turns. They're mini actions. They're half turns. You get an inferior and a set action. This is not a build action. This is
true.
a
right.
get 1 tile, and this is get a trainer and an assistant.
That's true, but it does feel like you're using up your board a little bit more, which is, you're using
the average score with this one is definitely much higher.
Yeah.
And the potential is much greater, but
yeah.
you need to know the game well. Otherwise, it's just sitting there, and you'll be playing your 4 turns and then looking at it afterwards.
Yeah, I'm saying that I like the concept in general.
I agree. I'm just pointing out that I would play a lot of the base game before I get this, and I would definitely take it out if there are new players, as opposed to Snow. Snow, I'm not sure I'd take out if there are new players.
Yeah, there's no real reason to.
It doesn't add complexity. It's nice.
Yeah, it is. So overall, I think that this expansion is definitely recommended. Right? It's not it doesn't change the game almost at all, but it does add just a little bit more. Maybe the most impactful actually is the new master cards, because there's just so many new master cards with new bonuses and new scoring opportunities. So that makes a big difference. But other than that, they're very nice, and I also like the fact that we have new trainer tiles. That's all, in terms of like the variety that it'll get it from game to game, but also in the fact that you can get more trainer cards, trainer tiles. So that's nice as well, because then you can use your assistants to a higher degree. So everything else is great. If you're looking for an expansion to a medium Euro game to spice it up a little bit, go for it.
I have one question before we sum up. I got 7 times 4, right?
Yeah.
How many did you get?
5.
Okay, but I see 1, 2, 3 exposed areas. 9 minus 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And there's another one over here. 6.
What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The maximum.
6.
I completed that one?
We'll put them back in place and see. I think you did complete that one.
Oh, wow. I did. Why did I? Okay, yeah, you're right. Because I had like the thing. You're right. So I won.
Let me just ceremoniously give you those 1, 2, 3, 4 points.
I didn't play well.
Clap for you.
Yeah. I don't deserve this one.
Oh, you deserve it, honey. You deserve everything.
Okay. You're right. That was a goof. In any case, where was I?
Okay, so you were saying it's very enjoyable, and I wanted to give like a brief overall summary of what it is that's in here and our thoughts on it. So you have Snow with her tile. Fantastic addition. Does not add complexity, adds a bit more depth, gives you a bit more options. Very nice. You have new trainer cards and new master cards that are virtually indistinguishable from the ones you get in the base game. They just add more variety. Very nice. You have this module, which is for more advanced players. Definitely not recommended for people who don't know the game well. And if we're playing this with newer players, I will insist on removing it because I don't think it flows that well into the base game. But I will definitely play it with people who know the game well because I think it adds a bit more strategy.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it. And overall, very recommended. And this is an adorable game. Like
Yeah.
we liked it from first. It's not like a top 5, but it's definitely a really fun game and recommended if you're looking for something that's medium and fairly easy to teach. Like about halfway through, people get the flow of it, and you know, the build and the tents and the posters to the performance. It's just kind of, once you get the flow of it, the game's very elegant.
Okay. So we hope you enjoyed this review. And links down below for the overview, the first round, and then the extended playthrough, as well as the base game of the Magnificent. And stay safe, and play lots of board games, and buy lots of board games, like we did. Oh, by the way,
yeah.
I could mention that this came in 2020's Essen. So hooray for Essen games coming.
Virtual spiel.
Yes. So hooray for new Essen games coming in.
Yeah. Wasn't there a whole talk about how we're not calling it Essen anymore because it's not in Essen? If it's
That's
virtual.
true. It's Essen Spiel. Yeah.
Oh well.
All right. So we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.